Hey everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Te Atiawa First Nations people and welcome to you, your guides, my guides and the universal energies. Okay, if you hear some snoring up the hallway, that's my mum. No, you won't be able to hear her snoring from there, but yeah. So I came home, yesterday on Sunday our time. Back in again this morning just for standard blood tests, even though they were taken yesterday, wanted them again. All doing well and just having a snooze. So thank you for joining me. Okay, what I want to have a look at in this particular reading, I'm going to use my Trip and Wait Tarot. What is it? 2 more sleeps, 3 more sleeps, 2 more sleeps. Cannot wait until the votes are actually officially in. Even though a vast majority of people have early voted, and then can get down to the actual business of process to certifying the election. Now, I just wanted to point out, Cash Peters brought this up in a reading he did. Oh gosh, his last reading. And I don't actually have a Twitter account, an X account, so I can't see this particular person, but a guy called Tom Santos, Santos. Apparently, I'm not quite sure how it all worked, but he put together the playbook of the GOP in the 2020 election and by points, and then is having a look at the 2024 election. And by points, they are doing exactly the same thing in an attempt to steal the election. So basically, the points he had, the main one was flood social media with biased polls. Yeah, well, that's happening. I mean, thems that pay for the polls gets to choose what the polls say. So don't believe the polls. Then use the polls to claim the win. And then apparently declare Harris as stupid and incompetent. Well, yeah, Trump's done that as well. Claim victory weeks before the election itself. Yeah, he's done that one too. Claim voter fraud weeks before the election. Yeah, tick that off as well. Claim when he loses it. Next one was claim fraud during the early voting process with no proof. Oh, yeah, is this getting a bit monotonous? Then when he loses, claim the elections are rigged, and then start legal challenges to stop the certification. Tick, 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 tick. This is all what they did in 2022, and they're already setting up for 2024. Number 10 though is new. Suggest violence if the results are not immediately released, because they do understand that the legal cases that will be required and recounts and all those sorts of things does mean that the results won't be immediately released. Okay, so just be aware this is a playbook that they've used before. They started in 2016 but didn't need to bring forward the last few points. Then they repeated it in 2020, all of them, and then are repeating it again in 2024. In good news, the SCOTUS has rejected the Pennsylvania GOP legal case to block provisional votes. Now, provisional votes is what happens when you turn up on election day, on voting day on November the 5th, and you find that even though you voted in every election for the last 50 years, for some reason your name is not there as a registered voter. You can ask for a provisional vote. I believe 20 states have that facility. Other states also have the ability to, if you take your documentation with you, you can actually register on the day. So just be aware. Glad to see the SCOTUS rejected Pennsylvania, their attempts to block provisional voting. I think that was that's in contrast to SCOTUS giving Pennsylvania the ability to purge voters who they deem to be non-citizens. So if you are there in Pennsylvania on election day, make sure, or anywhere, make sure if somebody gets to the front of the queue and they find out they're not on the roll and looks despondent, make sure that they know their rights. Okay, Iowa has Harris up by 3 points. Yay, go Iowa. And I do know notice, despite the media as late as yesterday, even here in New Zealand, and I'm sure it's exactly the same in Australia, ranting about the polls say Trump's going to win, blah, blah, blah. They're now changing their tune. I noticed this morning the media doesn't like to be on the losing side, so that's rather interesting to see that they're changing their tune. My reading the other day on Mikey Johnson, uh, it was brought to my attention that he doesn't have a Democrat running against him. Gee, it's a bit hard to vote for the other guy when there isn't another guy or gal. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter whether it's guy or gal. Can't vote for the other person if they're not there. It just shows the importance of running a candidate in every election humanly possible in situations such as this. So when I was doing that reading on Michael Johnson the other day, and I'm trying to remember what reading it was. I think it was the Liz Cheney safe ? One. And I did have, or it might have been wink wink Mikey Johnson, and I did have that he would lose his seat, but it would either be he didn't win or it would be a Jack Smith. So therefore, the fact that he's running unopposed does mean Jack Smith is bringing something forward. So, yeah, it's not the losing the seat. It's, I'll say Jack Smith has something in store for Mikey Johnson. Okay, what I'm going to have a look at in this particular reading very quickly, because then I want to get on to a couple of more spiritual-based readings. About time we did so. I just want to have a look to see how the Trump campaign is actually feeling behind the scenes. This is why I'm using the Trip and Wait Tarot. When you look at Trump's behaviour with the microphone the other day, what is it with MAGAs? They seem, for a very homophobic group of men, they seem very obsessed with men's private parts. You know, the pro golfer, the microphone. What else have we got? Trump, the Trump face on some half nude, oiled up wrestler body or something. They seem very obsessed with men's bodies and men's body parts. Okay, just very bizarre. But given the microphone, given Trump's declaration that he will protect women whether they like it or not, talk about dominating stalker vibes. Ooh, you know, that's up there with grabbing them by the you-know-what because he thinks he can. No. Okay. So the protecting them whether they like it or not, his microphone antics recently, his comment about Liz Cheney. Now, I know a few of you have said, the actual quote said, how would she feel if she had guns pointed at the face? Now, the face makes it a very personal threat. If you're just saying anywhere on the body, it tends to be not as, it is personal, but not as personal. When you're talking about the face, that is the identity of the person. Now, those that are saying, but he didn't actually say, threaten. He didn't say for someone to attack Nancy Pelosi's husband, but he instigated that attack. He didn't say for people to storm the Capitol building on January the 6th, but that happened as well. He's very astute at wording things in a way that can lead to plausible deniability, but everybody knows what he means. Okay, so 9 minutes in, and I haven't thrown a card. How is Trump's campaign feeling behind the scenes, given his latest behaviour? There's even worse going to come out. Really annoyed that the Epstein items were dropped about 2 days ago, the Epstein tapes and videos and photos by a so-called journalist for the sake of his podcast. It's like, seriously, how long did you sit on these things for? And it's a bit like Woodward bringing forth the information he had at the last minute because he had a book to sell. Okay, so how's his campaign feeling behind the scenes? Come on down, let's have a look. Right, goodness me, sorry, it took me long enough to get there. Okay, well, it's my, out the front being smug, the genie's being let out of has been let out of the bottle. Be careful what you wish for. I'm just going to say the genie's been let out of the bottle. Be careful what you wish for. Challenged by, I don't know that his medications are particularly well balanced. First of all, he's taking all the money and leaving scraps and nothing for anybody else down ballot amongst the Republican Party. But this, to me, is very much more about his health. Now, David and Gary from Twin Tarot. Well, yeah, the Twin Tarot. Sorry, I'm just having a mental blank there. Had this card the other day as well when they're talking about the medication not being right, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. I'm feeling that they're not getting his medication right. How do they feel? Face plant. Death by 1,000 cuts face plant. Absolutely. In the past, all was hunky-dory. They got paid well for what they were doing, living it up on the Learjet, on the hunk of junk jumbo jet that's grounded because its maintenance hasn't been done. They've been living it up financially, but it's in the past. It's over and done with. Crowning this reading, wishing they could pull the covers over their head and move on. Slinking away, basically, is what I'll say there. Wishing they could slink away. The immediate future sort of truth is coming forward for them, cutting through the crown. Reality, wisdom, strategy, just truth in the immediate future. There's a huge truth for them that is cutting through. On the base, we've got it's the card for dementia, and it's a card for confusion, and it's a card for, it can be smoke and mirrors, but this is just, to me, it's just about trying to find one's way through the confusion. Externally, it's the death knell. Internally, they're facing a harsh truth. Backed the wrong horse there. The horse looks terrified. Backed the wrong horse. Okay. Hopes and fears. Yep. Chain yourself to the devil, you get the devil. Thinking you can control them, but finding yourself controlled by it instead. Endings, significant endings. Thought they were on top, going to end up in the bottom, and basically find full exposure and riding around with the emperor having no clothes. Short and simple. Disappointment with what's on offer. Then starts the blame game, and it's just a too chaotic burden to carry to the finish line. And I know the finish line is literally 2 sleeps away. But this is not the last gaff he's going to have. Trust me. Tower moment, hidden agenda in regards to forming government backed by the oligarchs. So it's all about the hidden agenda is the reason why Trump is there, but it's not going well for them. Okay, I might have a look. Those back. Excuse my poker shuffling, which is absolutely terrible and is so rough on my cards, but it gets them nicely mixed in without me having to slide them in individually. There's Trump. He's just proving to be an absolute chaotic slog to the finish line. So that's how they're feeling behind the scenes. So let's have a look. Is he going to gaff again? Is he going to gaff again? think in Georgia, haven't they identified about 500,000 more new voters than they did last in the 2020 election in Georgia alone? Wow, isn't fabulous? And I can bet you those new voters aren't voting for this guy. Best of democracy, best of democracy. And I bet you they aren't voting for that guy. Okay, as Sun card flipped, he's finding himself fully exposed with no clothes on. So show me, is he going to gaff again before Tuesday in the US? Is he going to gaff again? We know he's going to use that playlist. He's already started it. He's already hinted at it. Show me he's not going to gaff again. Guaranteed. Absolutely flung out. Guaranteed he's going to. Tower moment. Do I need to go any further? Judgment in the past. Possible vascular event. Already, you notice as he tried to open the door of that garbage truck, he staggered, and yeah, he's riding around with no clothes on, basically. Yes, yes, yes. Downfall, immediate future. The attempt to steal the election, win at any cost, is the plan that they're bringing to fruition to try and get the guru position. Hopes and fears, contracts and agreements they've got in place with various states, but it's been seen, overseen. They're going to be stopped. Goodness me, look at these major arcana. The Fool, la la la, off the cliff in their foolishness, and then the birth of something significantly new that brings abundance. Could also be Russia, because then I've got overseas. It's not going to end well. And then we have the investigations into the devil. Look at them. What have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 major arcana there. This is big. It's just not going to end well for Trump. And then we have the emotional breakdown, the oligarchs, and then the new leadership coming through. Emotional breakdown on behalf of the oligarchs. I would not be surprised. So no, I see nothing to change my mind as to what I've read before up until now. It's just not going to end well. Is he going to gaff again? You can just about the bank on it. I'm going to leave it there. And I'm going to do a couple of more spiritual readings. So love to you all. 2 more sleeps. See how it goes. Take care. Bye-bye.